You are listening to the Curate Your Life Podcast with Temetria, episode 94, Dance Like No One Is Watching. Hi, I'm Temetria, a single woman in midlife, but not quite ready for the moo-moo life. I'm focused on curating a life that I love, a life that is bold and vibrant and full of purpose. And I'm passionate about helping other women do the same. So join me if you're ready to curate a big, bold, beautiful life that you love. Okay, y'all, I have one for you today, and it's going to be fun, I guess. I'm coming to you a little vulnerable, and I'm going to tell you a story about a girl named T, about me. So last Thursday, October 24th, I took a break from work and I took a little nap in my chair in the living room. And I woke up and I picked up my phone and I opened Facebook and scrolled for a second. And then an ad popped up for Ballet Austin and workshops that they're offering in classes. Now, I know that they offer classes, they offer dance classes at Ballet Austin, because I've taken one before, but it grabbed my attention. It's workshops, adult dance workshops. And I don't know why I clicked on it and started scrolling, and they had an absolute beginner's ballet class for adults. Now, I'm not an absolute beginner. I've taken ballet before, but probably the last time was around 12, 13 years old. So I told you that I knew that Ballet Austin offers dance classes because in 2001, I decided to go take tap classes at Ballet Austin. I took dance classes from probably about the time that I was 8 or 9 up until probably my freshman year, sophomore year in high school. I think that's right. For a good period of time. Ballet, tap, jazz, and acrobatics. That's what they used to teach. And then I just started taking jazz classes for years. I took classes for years. So not an absolute beginner. So in 2001, I decided that I wanted to go take tap classes because it was good cardio and it would be fun. And a friend of mine went with me. And when we registered, the lady asked about experience, and I said, I've taken tap before for years. It had been a while. And I think she suggested what would be equivalent to this absolute beginner's class that I took for ballet today. But I said, oh no, I've had some tap, some experience. So I took the next level up. I don't remember what the name was, me and this friend. And so we get to this class. And another aside is I always wanted, let me back up. So we decide which class we're going to take, right? And then we have to get the equipment. So I always wanted the high heel tap shoes, always wanted them. Nobody, my mom, my aunt would never buy them for me. We were in New York and, New York, Broadway, those places. And we were in a shoe store and they had these tap shoes, high heel tap shoes. I wanted them so badly. My mom would not buy them for me. So fast forward 2001, I'm however old I am in 2001, I'm going to take this tap class and I go to the store and I tell the lady that I'm taking a tap class and I need to get some shoes, and I'm going to buy the high heel shoes because I am an adult working, paying for my own shoes, and she would not sell them to me. She said, no, you need these. And just the plain Jane, Mary Jane type flat tap shoes. She wouldn't sell them to me. So I left with an attitude, not really. I left with my flat tap shoes and a little sad about that, but still excited about the class. Went to the first class and I'm thinking, I know the shuffle ball change and all of those things and I'm ready to go. My feet would not cooperate with what my brain was telling it to do. There was the biggest disconnect. We had a good time, but y'all, the lady at registration was right. I should have taken the absolute beginner class. And we had fun with it, right? But I needed some basics. I needed to have some basic lessons again. And I do remember that there was this older man in the class who was killing it. He was fantastic. And I feel like he probably went through the steps, but he was really good. So that's the story from 2001. Let's get back to October 24th, 2024. And I see these classes and I'm like, okay, that would be so much fun. I still have the tap shoes, by the way, for the record, in this closet over here. So I'm like, that would be so much fun. It'd be a good way to get some movement in, to have a good time, meet people. So I signed up for absolute beginner. I learned my lesson. I signed up for absolute beginner ballet classes. Well, today was my first absolute beginner ballet class. So let me tell you about when I signed up. I signed up on the 24th. I was so excited, like giddy, joy excited. And I don't have any ballet shoes, right? Because it's been 100 years and my foot is not the same size as when I was maybe in high school, but I stopped taking ballet earlier on. So I had to buy all the stuff, ballet shoes, leotards, tights, all the things. Just really excited about it because it's going to be fun. I know some ballet. It'll be good for me. But even in that excitement, there was some of the doubt, some of the hesitation, just around it's not something I've done in a long time. Who's going to be in the class? What are people going to think? And the leotards and tights, let's talk about it. I'm 56 years old and not a ballerina body. But I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do it. It's going to be fine. It's an adult ballet class, absolute beginner. I'm not an absolute beginner, even though I'm going to start that way this time. I do know some things. So first, on Thursday, after I signed up, I went and stood by my island and I did some pliés and some relevés. Still have those. I still know the positions for feet, first, second, all the positions through fifth for feet. I did not remember the ones for arms though. So and then I went to YouTube, right? Like the amount of time that I spent on this on Thursday after I signed up, it was in giddiness, right? And so spent the time. I went and I got my ballet shoes. I got all my clothes. And then I started thinking about it. I'm like, I'm going to have to put on leotards and tights and go dance in front of, I don't know how big this class is going to be. I don't know who's going to be in it. In my mind, it was going to be 40, 50 somethings, just looking for some exercise and looking for a new hobby, that type of thing. And I'm like, is it going to be co-ed? And it could possibly be. It happened that it was not. But I'm like, is it going to be co-ed? I'm like, you know what? You're 56. You're fine. It doesn't matter. Go have fun. But the voice, in the back of my mind. So this morning, put on my leotards and tights. The voice is there. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, Jesus, I'm just going. I'm going because I'm still excited about it. There's joy in my heart about taking these classes. The joy, I mean, I was so excited. I told friends about it and I'm like, I'm just giddy about this. And why not? It's dance lessons. Dance is fun. So put on my little skirt over my, not the little ballet skirt, but just, to get me from my home to Ballet Austin to the thing, outside clothes, whatever. And I get to the class and I was relatively early, not super early, but I wanted to make sure I got a parking spot downtown Austin. I wanted to make sure I knew where I was going, that kind of thing. So I was a little bit early. There's one person there who was not the instructor, but I think she was like instructor's helper. So I'm kind of hanging out, putting on my shoes, and the people start to trickle in. And it is all 20 and 30-year-old women who look really ballerina-ish. Thin, tall, hair pulled back in the bun, in the tight bun, which I could have put my hair up, and I'm like, it's fine. Like, you can see my neck. I can see it's all good. So the thoughts really started then. Like, I'm like, okay, yeah. I'm like, all me and my voluptuousness, I like that word, in my tights and my leotards with the ballerinas. But you know what? I'm like, I'm in it. I'm here to dance, to move my body, to have fun, to learn a skill again, and just be in the joy that I was in when I registered. So I put the voice to the back. I'm like, just shut up and let's go listen and try to make sure we can not only we know the positions that our feet will go in the right direction, just hush. So I quieted the voices, had a great time. I let it go, right? I'm like, this is who I am. I don't know these people. It doesn't matter. I'm here as an adult in this adult dance class to dance. And so I did pretty good at the bar. You're at the bar, and it's not, obviously you cannot hide behind a bar, but everybody's at the bar, and it was almost like a little safety net, a little something to hold on to. But at the end of class, we had to do some traveling moves across the floor. That's when I got in my head and I lost the steps, because I'm like, oh God, I'm out here doing these steps, doing these moves in my body that is not the size of their bodies. And I know that didn't make sense, that it was different without the bar, because they have these bars now that stand in the middle of the room. They're portable, so you just bring them over. There are two people at the bar. So it's not like I was not, and I was in the middle of the thing. So for the last 45 minutes, I'd been out there in the thing, but it was just something about dancing across the room. And of course, this was not the case, but I felt like all eyes were on me. They were not, because they were trying to do the steps too. There were probably 5 or 6 people in the class that really, really had never taken ballet before, ever. And other people who'd probably taken classes before. So we're all trying to do the things, to do the steps. So of course they weren't thinking about me. They're probably thinking about themselves, but I'm in my head, right? And so I missed a couple of steps on a couple of routines. But all in all, I had fun. It was uncomfortable, even though it was something that I wanted to do. When I looked up and looked around, it was uncomfortable. I'm like, ugh. I'm the oldest. Well, the instructor was older than me. She'd been dancing all her life. She was fabulous. I'm the oldest, and I'm the biggest in the room. I'm like, yay, joy. But you know what? Screw it. I almost said a really bad word. I'm here. I'm living my life. This is what I want to do. I want to dance. And when I'm done with this workshop, I'm going to find another one. At some point, I'm going to go back to tap. It's going to be absolute beginner, but I'm going to go through the series of the work. So it's absolute beginner, ballet 2, ballet 3. I'm doing them all. And I'm doing them at this size, and maybe the size will change as I do them. But I refuse. Like, this is what I want to do. And so I'm going to do it. Am I going to be uncomfortable? Maybe. I imagine as the weeks pass, I'll get more comfortable because it'll be the same group of people. But I'm doing it because it's something that I want to do. And still, even while I was in there, with one side of my brain saying, oh God, we're the biggest in the room, and the other side was saying, this is so fantastic. Like, I have on my ballet shoes and I'm pointing my feet and I know my first and fifth and pas de bourrée. I'm like, I am doing this. So I came to share with you that it was uncomfortable, but it was joyous, and it's something that I want to do. So I'm okay being uncomfortable while I do this, because it was just uncomfortable then, and really just in my mind. Like, before, when I signed up, thrilled, telling people about it. I was thrilled when I decided. I'm going to tell you that in a minute. And then, like, now I'm thinking about it. I'm like, I did that today. I'm thrilled. So when I signed up, I'm like, I'm not going to tell anybody. And that was probably that first inkling of thinking that people were going to say, oh, like, why are you doing that? Oh my God, why are you going to wear leotards and tights and things like that? But you know what? I was so happy about it that I told people, I told my friends, I'm like, you're never going to believe. And when I was talking about it, I felt the joy. They could feel the joy. So I'm just leaning into that. the discomfort, doubt, and fear can come along for the ride, but they're not dancing up front with me. The saying is fear and doubt can come along for the ride, but they can't drive. They have to be in the back seat, something like that. So they can come, but they have to sit on the sidelines. They're not dancing the dance with me. So day one is in the bag, and my feet have been soaked. I was smart. This was my 56-year-old wisdom that decided to get some Epsom salts beforehand, so I would have them on hand. And the instructor did recommend to everybody, not just to me, that it would probably be a good idea to soak your feet in Epsom salt and maybe roll them out on a tennis ball, that type of thing. And I was thinking more for all the other muscles, but I did soak my feet. I probably at some point will be soaking the rest of my muscles. But it was fantastic. And I'm so happy that I didn't let thoughts that are just here, right? Nobody else is thinking them. And if they are, that's their business. But I didn't let those thoughts keep me from something that brought me so much joy and will bring me so much joy. And yeah, so that's what I'm coming here to tell you today. Curate the life that you want to live. Don't let yourself be boxed in by the shoulds or by what you think other people are going to think. They may be thinking it, they may not be thinking it. It's not important. So if everybody in that class was like, my God, what is she doing in those tights and leotards? That's their business. I was there dancing and doing an okay job, except for the time that I got mixed up. But don't think I won't be dancing around my house doing my little practice steps that we have to do. I'm like, I know how to do that. And I'm excited about it. My neighbors may not be excited about me dancing around. I will be nice about it. I will just do small steps, not big leaps across the apartment. But yeah, live your life. Figure out what you want and live your life. And I will tell you, there's a lady on Instagram that I follow. I don't know her name, so I can't tell you her name. I'll see if I can find it, and I'll put a link in the show notes. But I guess maybe 4 or 5 years ago, she started dancing. She's in her 50s. She started dancing. I haven't really read the story. I've just snippets of it. But she documented her whole story on Instagram. I'm probably not going to do that. And now she's like in shows, and I know that she's done some workshops, or I don't know if she's in Debbie Allen's school, but she's in shows. She did a cabaret. She looks fantastic. So I'm like, I keep dancing. I might come back on here with my leotards and my tights, but you know, that is such an aside, and I'm just going to leave it in. Anyway, I was inspired by her. She evidently loves to dance, and she just started taking lessons. And again, I need to go find the whole story and figure out if she was a dancer before and just came back to it. But she's having a blast, and I am having a blast. So if there's something in your life that you want to do that will bring you joy and you will have a blast doing it, please go do it. Life is meant to be lived, and we should be living it vibrantly and to the fullest. And I want to say this especially because I focus on coaching single women in midlife. When else are you going to do it? Like in our 20s and 30s, we were probably busy doing other things, building careers, raising families, if you're raising a family. If you're single and you're in midlife, you are in charge of you. You're resourced. Who are you reporting to? Nobody. Go do your damn thing. Go live your life as big and as loud as you want to live it. That's what I have to say to you now. And if you don't watch this podcast, if you listen to it, I just did a rah-rah, threw my hands in the air, and I just did it again just to show. I just feel really like on fire in my soul about this and just happy. And if I let the shit come in, the shitty thoughts stick with me, and I cannot believe I'm getting a little emotional, I wouldn't have had this great day. So that's what I have for you. Until next time,